Hello everyone, Aaron here, and today we are at the Austrian Grand Prix. This would be the 9th round, and yeah, one away from the 50% mark in the entire season. I believe this track is 9 corners, but for some reason Formula has made this kink right here you're seeing, turn 2, and this right-hander turn 3, which doesn't really make sense. Turn 2 is really not a turn. They should just... Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I had this argument with Julie. We were arguing about which corners we were talking about. I was like, they made that turn 2? Like, that's just honestly ridiculous. But yeah, right now we're watching my quali lap here. This is the first one. So at the beginning of the session, we're just trying to get a banker lap in. And honestly, I kept it pretty clean, hit most apexes, but I was braking fairly early for most turns. I wasn't maximizing each corner because if you maximize just a little too much or you're just sloppy, you're gonna get that corner cut warning and invalidate your lap. So a 106.3, which is pretty good. Finishing this lap, I definitely knew I could do better. Like, I felt it. I felt the power. And I was like, we're going to do a 105 right now. And we've saved our last run for the final minute and a half of the session. And while we were waiting in the garages, we were just watching everyone set times. And I was like, that's very unusual. Why is everyone setting out times in the middle of the session? Everyone usually waits until the end. And I'm literally one of 3 people trying to set a lap out right now, and as I'm driving on the straight, I see droplets on my screen. I'm like, that's just so impossible. Like, I was checking the weather monitor in the garage. It said no rain for the next 10 minutes, and I come out, there's freaking droplets. So yeah, I just got to live with the one run I did, and remarkably got P6. So 5 red lights, about to be out, and here we go. Getting a decent start compared to everyone else, yet can't see a thing with all that spray. It's just pouring cats and dogs, and we've just outbraked ourselves into Coldo. Oh my god, just got front wing damage and caused a huge pile up behind us, I think, but it looks like we've got a few others behind us.
Sorry, Coldo, that was me. I got wing damage.
So yeah, we're saying sorry to Coldo. We're in a chat, and yeah, we're just going to continue on. Turn 2, I believe, and we've just spun because Julia has made contact with our rear tire, and that has given chicane, and I believe Hayden in front of us. We've just lost 2 positions. So I was like, okay, whatever. What's done is done. We're just going to continue on. And at the time, I didn't think the wing damage was that bad. I only glanced over it, and I thought, okay, that's light yellow wing damage. That's like what we had in Spain. That's going to be about half a second. And I'm like, that's not too bad. I think my pace in the wet is actually pretty good, so we're going to keep up okay. But watching it now, it's actually a dark yellow, which could be about up to a second a lap, if not 3/4. So yeah, really struggling, just finding a lot of understeer. It just didn't make sense to me, as we just lost another 3 positions in 2 turns. So yeah, one of the worst race starts of the season. Nah, actually, it is the worst race start I've had this season. Absolutely the worst by far, hands down. So I actually felt really, really bad about that. I actually still feel really embarrassed about that one start, because that's just a total amateur move, I would say, in my opinion. Just going straight on in turn 1. That's something you probably expect from the assist league, or maybe even F8. It's just something you don't do, and yeah, it just kind of hurt my pride as a racer. So yeah, I was feeling really bad, and just that, and then also it affected another person's race. So I mean, obviously I bumped Coldo off. He was in front of me. He lost positions. THM not so much, but Detainable was 4th or 5th, and he lost positions. And everyone behind us, which I caused a huge, massive slowdown, probably caused some wing damage. So all of that just accumulated, made me feel really shitty about the entire situation. And I think that kind of messed up my focus in the race. Because if I realized if it was a dark yellow wing, I probably would have come in for inters and probably just stuck it out until it finally transitioned. So now we've got Maku diving up the inside, and that's actually a fair move. He's really good in the wet, has such good traction, and seems like he's probably going to be challenging for a podium every race if there is rain. So yeah, that was a pretty easy move by Maku. I mean, there's not much I can do. Just don't have the grip, don't have the downforce. And yeah, we're just going to follow behind Coldo and Maku for now. I believe a couple more laps here, and then we're going to transition into lap 7 here. And visibly, it's getting a little, it's lightening up on the rain, and I'm thinking it's almost inters time. So as we're halfway through this track here with just sector 2, I think Jeff's going to come on in a second and tell us something.
We think there's a viable strategy change available to us. Would you like to keep to the current plan or try the new one?
Yes, I would love to try the new one, except I don't know what happened there. It just brought up the menu. It didn't tell me, do I want to select inters on lap so and so like it normally does. So I'm like, okay, I almost wiped out on pit entry, and we have just put wets on. This couldn't have gone any worse. I couldn't believe what just happened. I was like, this is race over for sure. Race over. There's just no coming back from this. So I mean, at this point I'm like, okay, I just gotta live with it. I just gotta see what my pace is like in the wet. We're gonna see how we do. Completely lock up through that entire turn. We got my teammate Julian behind us. He's just right on our gearbox. And yeah, this is not good. Not good at all. Yeah, just locking up into this turn again, and now Julian's trying to overtake us. And I considered, alright, I'm not going to just give it up. And as you can see, squirming through the acceleration zone, just got no grip, and he's passing us on the outside like we're not even there. We have zero grip. Yes, Jeff, I would have loved if you put on intermediates when you told me you wanted to do a strategy change. So yeah, we're coming back in, lap 9. The wets are just not working out, and yeah, we're finally going to get that wing change that we desperately need, and we have some intermediate tires. This is great and all, but we are now position 13 of 13, so last of the runners. And at lap 10, I believe position 12 is 20 seconds up the road. That's an entire pit stop, and I didn't expect to see anyone else in this race, to be honest. When you're 20 seconds down, that's pretty much race over, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to finish the race because I'm in the race and we never give up. Something may happen, but only so much can happen when you're last place and 20 seconds behind. So, yep. Cutting ahead to lap 13, and I believe we're going to be one of the first people to get onto the dry tire. Jeff has told us come in for some dry tires. I'm like, hey Jeff, you better put on some dry tires. I'm going to kill someone. So yeah, the good news is I do have some dry tires on, the super soft. So normally the strategy here is you go to ultra softs to lap 13, 14, then you go on to softs for the rest of the stint. But I decided to go for the super softs just because I knew the rain was going to cool down the tire, and the tire wear wasn't going to be so bad for the first few laps. So I thought
I'm for sure I can make this to the end of the race with no problems. I'm not going to risk a puncture. So the track has dried out, lap 22, and we finally caught up to Alcon, and our pace was pretty decent, I think. We're catching Mr. Alcon here about a second and a half a lap. It did take about 6-7 laps to get to this point, and I didn't think we'd close the gap to Alcon. I thought his pace would be better than that. So yeah, so we're behind Alcon, and look how hard he's defending. He's all the way on the right hand side. Like, there's no way I can just, you know, dummy him by going left and right. And I am actually in standard mix. I don't know why. And we get into this curve, which unsettles the car a bit, and we've lost just that extra couple inches that we needed to challenge Alcon into these last two fast right-handers. So I'm like, man, that sucks. Like, I'm into negative gas because of trying that move. But we're gonna throw into Rich this DRS main straight. Coming out here, and we expected Alcon to lunge up on the inside, go further, so we probably switch back, but, you know, kind of turned in on him, and we just had to back out of that move. So from here, I was like, yeah, I had no gas, so we're just gonna follow behind him for a few laps and lean, save some gas, and maybe try to force him to make some errors. Maybe try to force him to go deep, or just so we can capitalize. But that doesn't work. He's consistent, but just slower than us. And we've just got P-Car's Potato just lagged in front of us for a split second. And if you look at the mini-map, he is actually lagged behind us as well. Try to leave Alcon room on the outside, but somehow he switched back on us, and I'm not exactly sure how or why he did that, but I'm like, okay, whatever, we're gonna go for it. And we got now P-Car's Potato joining the fray. I was like, where did this guy come from? Either he lagged backwards, that's what it seemed like, but he must have lagged backwards like 30 seconds. Like, I don't know where he lives, but I think in the lobby I saw him as a Canadian driver, but this game is pretty glitchy, and I've seen other people's flags change. Like Colo's flag once was a French flag, even though he's German. So yeah, I can't even trust the flag symbols anymore. But anyways, I digress. We're continuing the attack on Alcon, because now that we have Potato annoying us, we're just gonna go for it. And yeah, going on the outside once again on this turn, and we're gonna try to stick it on the inside and make this move finally stick for the third attempt. So here we go. Hit this apex super nicely, missed the curve entirely, lunge this, leave some room Alcon as he's right there. We have negative fuel in rich mode, so we're gonna pull away just ever so slightly, and that's a move down on Alcon finally after a good 7 laps of battling and chasing. We've finally done it, and Smeeged, who was leading the race, came and blue flagged those 2 cars, so I think Smeeged gets through. I'm not exactly sure what happened to Alcon and Potato.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
But yeah, so cutting ahead to lap 35, which was pretty boring after that. We don't even get to finish the last lap 36 of the race, because we're just an entire lap down from Smeeged. So coming up on our result here, that's going to be 11th place in Austria, no points scored, and that's going to be the second time this season that we haven't scored points in the season. So yeah, didn't help our standing in the Drivers' Championship, and now we've got our podium winners here. We've got Smeeged in first place, Lunation in second, and Hayden in third. So congrats to those 3. And with that, Smeeged is now leading the championship by almost 100 points. So yeah, he must be feeling really happy about that. For sure, he's going to win the Drivers' Championship. I mean, I don't want to say for sure, because Coldo and THM, they You know, they're kind of within reach, 70 points, but they're going to have to start stealing some wins off Smeege, winning a lot of races. And you can't even say you got to stay consistent because you do have to win races and knock Smeege off first position. So yeah, funny enough, those 3 podium drivers all from Britain, and Britain is the next race. So yeah, we got to hopefully knock them off their home race. And I honestly wasn't feeling the competitive nature for this race in the beginning. I don't know. I felt excited for the race. I wanted to do the race. I mean, racing in AR did make me happy, but for some reason, that competitive nature, that hunger to win wasn't there. And I think that's why I made so many mistakes in the beginning, and making those mistakes just, you know, kind of just added fuel to the fire and just made a bad race into even a worse race. So yeah, aiming to come back and put together a better result for Silverstone, because I really do want to end the halfway point of the season on a good note. So with that, I hope you guys really enjoyed my video, and have a good one, guys. Thanks.